Now that the French army was attempting to invade us, I had to build defenses. I constructed walls around Viborg and Kaupang. I had to assemble all the clan leaders so that we could discuss a plan of defense against the great French army. After hours of planning on tactics, we finally had a solid plan. And it all revolved around the fact that France was in the north. We called it Operation Halidararas, or flank attack in English. But they would first have to attack us so that the majority of their army was stationed in our territory. With that being finalized, I focused my efforts on building more roads connecting to my sites so that reinforcements could travel rapidly. I then had captains stationed at the cities in the northeast. The French army was now making its way further down from the northeast direction after they had razed my city. I sent my newly trained Berserk unit up north to assist the swordsmen in defending at the front line. However, I realized I wanted to build an entire army of Berserkers, so I commanded the swordsmen to retreat to the nearest city so that they could be highly trained and given proper equipment. The plan was now set into motion. The enemies surprised me when they attacked from the Great Waters with crossbow units and trebuchets. I had to quickly send reinforcements to defend the coast of Kaupang. My Berserker units lived up to their name and proved to be a super unit. I then looked at the latest report from my scouts. France no longer had the greatest army, and they weren't so big as I thought they once were. This was surely going to be an easy win for us. After destroying their navy units, it seemed as if they were just distracting us so that they could continue to attack the city from the rear. We took their bait. We had no defenses up north. All I could do now was to trust my Berserkers against their highly trained crossbow units. I realized I needed archers to further enhance our plan, so I ordered the training of several companies of archers at the camp in Copenhagen. We had archers now, however. At this stage of the war, it was clear that crossbow units were far more superior than archers, so I told my Empire's engineers to research on machinery technology. The front line continued to defend the north rear. Meanwhile, at Copenhagen, more valiant warriors were being drafted into the army. The people's faith in me was restored again. However, there was word of a group of rebels planning a coup, so I sent a spy team to keep an eye out on the streets of all cities, and I also increased my security. I then decided to move to Kaupang to join my Vikings at the front line. For a king should lead from the front line, a king should lead in battle with sword and axe. And my great-grandfather lacked that in him, for he was nothing more than a coward hiding behind his tall walls, which got besieged anyway. He deserved to die. The gates of warriors will never open to him. The amount of enemy militia increased, but it was nothing major. My Berserker units were strong, intelligent, fast, and fought until their last breath. It took more than arrows and bolts to take them down. It seemed as if they had a larger navy, which they now sent towards Kaupang. They were attacking simultaneously on land and on water. The city defenses were strong, however, the front line needed to be complete. We wanted a shield wall with a stone wall-like formation on the rear, and crossbow units right behind the wall to provide support. I had no doubt that their navy would surely be weakened. My defense was indeed impenetrable. Not even their new musketeer units could reach our lands. The shield wall was now coming together. Also, we had now completed the machinery research. I was able to train crossbow units. As I said, the tables would soon turn. My Vikings continued to fight vigorously. Now that the stone wall defense was complete, I looked at the map for iron ore mines so that I could train more berserkers. My empire was doing incredibly well, although the score was still 0-1, and I had to balance it in haste. We sent workers to a mine in Copenhagen and work began. Meanwhile, at Kaupang, the enemy troops were greatly reduced, and We didn't suffer much losses on our side. All they had left was their navy. As soon as that was dealt with and the iron was fully gathered, my plan could proceed to the next phase. We'd attack them from the Aarhus flank directly north of Copenhagen, while the majority of their army was coming for the second wave of attack. This time, our defenses were now complete. So that was our advantage to swiftly attacking them at their weakest point. We then celebrated the completion of our honor piety. However, the war raged on, and blood continued to be shed. And soon the northwest expansion was going to begin, along with the attack.